everyone's goal in life is to get better over time. And we define our goals individually, and they might be based on something personal, they might be based on um, something extrinsic, intrinsic, whatever it is. I've been sick for the past week almost now, with like the flu or some shit, and I'm starting to get better, but been thinking of our goals. Everyone has a goal, and everything we do is in some way relation to that goal, or you might have multiple goals. And if it's not towards that goal, it's a distraction. So there's a net gain or a net like minus, I guess you can call it. And to feel fulfilled or successful in life, you need to feel like you have a net gain. And when you look at the time frame, that also affects it. So let's say you have a net gain, net positive gain every day. That means every single day you've done something to further yourself to reach your goal or to grow yourself as a person, whatever your goal is or your goals are. You most likely, if you're on the right path, you're doing something each day or each week or each month or whatever it is to get closer to attaining that goal and maybe even surpassing it, whatever it is. So I think a good way of understanding it and looking at it is whatever that goal may be, aim for a positive net gain each day. And if you can't do it on a day, let's say you don't move forward on a day, or there's a couple days where you can't, aim for a positive week. Because if you have a positive week, that means you are closer to your goals right now than you were last week. Now, if something else happened, I'm sick, that's not an excuse. Like, I've been doing stuff, but nowhere near the amount I would be doing if I wasn't sick. But if, let's say, you can't reach a net positive in that week, grow your timeline to a month. Because in a month, unless you're experiencing something truly like life-changing, you should always be able to go from wherever you are in day 1 of the month, and on day 30, you should have accomplished something that pushes you further down the line and ends up as a net gain. And taking even more extreme, let's say an extreme life event happens. Let's say a family member dies or something that really shakes you up. Now that might take more than a month to recover. Not saying that you won't have a negative gain in that month, because even just dealing with that will help you grow as a person. But then always ensure at the end of the year, because we're in November now, at the end of the year, you absolutely must have grown and become a different, better person at the end of the year. Because if you haven't, that's 365 days where you were stagnant. That's inexcusable. No matter what you're going through, that's inexcusable. And I'm not saying that in a way where I'm better than you, or that I haven't had years where I didn't feel like I moved far enough. But even the years that are hard, being able to get past that distress or discomfort, that in and of itself is a net gain. So I guess the point of this video is you will get sick, you will lose motivation, you will deal with things in your life that will affect you as a person and hold you back and anchor you. But understand that as long as you push forward and you move forward some percentage at a time, you will get out of it and you'll become better. And that's all you can ask of yourself, is become better tomorrow than you were today. Become better in 5 years than you were today, than you were 5 years ago. And people always say this would you make your younger self proud? And I think it's a good way to look at it, but also it's more so of, if you're making your younger self proud, does that relate to making you proud today? And maybe instead of looking at, would you make your younger self proud, would you make you on your deathbed, you 80 years old, proud? Because we have different priorities as we age, and some of it is due to not understanding the world enough and not having the proper priorities. And some of it are just things that come with time and change based off of experience, and there's nothing you can do to predict what your priorities may be 10 years down the line when something drastic happens to your life. So, point of this, everyone goes through shit. The best people in the world go through shit. But I'm saying this as someone being sick and trying to gain the energy to put in more hours of work, even at this point, because I know down the line I won't have the pleasure or the freedom as much to be sick for this long and do as little as I'm doing. Though I do want to preface this with, when I say little, it's in comparison to what I do on a daily basis, weekly basis, whatever it is. But that's all I got for you guys today. My brain's still like fuzzy. Like, I don't know when you get like the flu or some shit and like you're just like, I don't know, floating or some shit. I don't know. But that's all I got for you guys today. All right, peace.